Hi, Randy Pierce here. Thanks for joining this webinar series. Hopefully you took the first step and ordered the book, Clean It. If not, go to www.wwcir.com and get it. Here I am going to share my story and the techniques that took me to the top, to have a #1 rated company, to do $230,000 plus in sales with one truck, one technician, to also have time to spend with my wife, to do things with my children, to coach them in sports, and also to have time for me, which means you'll have time for you so that you can fulfill your dreams. This should be a way to increase your income so that you can have more time to do the things you want. So go grab a pencil and or a pen, get some paper, and get ready to take some notes for this life-changing event. Okay, let's get started. First, a little bit about me. I started my business, Superior Steam Cleaners, in 1992 from scratch. I then sold it in 2014 for $200,000. I then became a full-time instructor for ChemSpec and the Institute of Inspection, Cleaning, and Restoration. I'm a master textile cleaner, master water restorer, and a master fire restorer. It has been said I am lucky. I am here to tell you luck comes from planning, having a map. I wrote a book called Clean It. It went #1 in 2 categories, marketing and consulting, in the first 2 weeks it was released. That's what these whole webinars are about, is breaking that down to a little more details for you. Does this sound like you? Are you working way too hard for not enough money? Are you stuck and can't seem to move forward? Is your cash flow inconsistent? How much time are you spending in survival mode, just trying to get by? None of these things are the problem. If you had regular work, your schedule would be full. You could raise your prices and you could get paid what you are worth. You could get out of survival mode. My goal here is to make your life more enjoyable and more profitable, to ease your highs and your lows, and to free you up to do the things you want to do. Okay, let's get started. First, a little bit about me. I started my business, Superior Steam Cleaners, in 1992 from scratch. I then sold it in 2014 for $200,000. I then became a full-time instructor for ChemSpec and the Institute of Inspection, Cleaning, and Restoration. I'm a master textile cleaner, master water restorer, and a master fire restorer. It has been said I am lucky. I am here to tell you luck comes from planning, having a map. I wrote a book called Clean It. It went #1 in 2 categories, marketing and consulting, in the first 2 weeks it was released. That's what these whole webinars are about, is breaking that down to a little more details for you. Does this sound like you? Are you working way too hard for not enough money? Are you stuck and can't seem to move forward? Is your cash flow inconsistent? How much time are you spending in survival mode, just trying to get by? None of these things are the problem. If you had regular work, your schedule would be full. You could raise your prices and you could get paid what you are worth. You could get out of survival mode. My goal here is to make your life more enjoyable and more profitable, to ease your highs and your lows, and to free you up to do the things you want to do. This is my son and me. The pink hair is for October, Cancer Month, where we raise money for the Cancer Foundation. Sometimes you need to do something a little outrageous to help get noticed and to bring awareness to yourself and to help other people to be part of your community. So I had this company, and my son Sean took an interest and he started working for me. I bought a house in upstate New York from my grandmother, and soon afterwards I had a problem with my neck, and I had C5 through C7 fused together. I needed a plan to get my son to take over. I went to a Piranha Marketing Boot Camp, and we did an exercise, which is what we're going to all work on today. This will be used as a guide, and over the next month, you will work on it, you will probably change it, and you will probably improve it. And that's what this is all about, is to get you started today, and then in the next 30 days, for you to come up with a plan to be accountable to get your life together. We're going to work on these 3 questions. Where are you? Where are you going? And how are you going to get there? All right, so today we're going to work on SMART goals. We call them SMART because they're going to work. Now, so if you got a goal, you've got to set it out. You've got to actually get it written down and have a plan. And that's what we're going to work on developing today. So SMART is broke down as specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. Okay, so it's got to be specific. You can't just say, I'm going to make more money. It's got to have an amount to it. It's got to be measurable. You got to know, all right, well, I'm doing this much more and this much more and this much more. All right, I'm not making that. What am I going to do? It should be attainable. You need to stretch yourself, but you can't make it so that it's impossible to reach, or you'll lose hope and not do it. Which falls into the next one also. It needs to be realistic. It needs to be one you really can make. Again, you want to stretch yourself, but not hurt it. And then it needs to be time bound. So you need to have time frames. I like to work with 5 years at a time. So go 5 years out and then work your way back. And we're going to try and get all that done here today. We're going to lay down all the work, pause this when you need to, and go through your parts, or listen to the whole thing, re-listen to it. Doesn't matter. The goal is just to do it, to get it written down and get a passion. You need to have that passion to succeed. All right, so here we are. We're getting ready to get started into this. So before we get started, I'm going to give you 4 basic tips about SMART goal. Number 1, think about the big picture. SMART goal setting is about breaking goals down into validated segments. So you want to go ahead and lay out your big picture. You want to have that shot. Then you're going to start breaking it down. Year 5, year 4, year 3, year 2, year 1. Number 2, then you begin to break your goal down into smaller sections in order to fulfill measurable and attainable SMART goals. So then you're going to have your monthly sections. Month 11, month 10, 9, 8, and then you're going to get all the way down to where the last month it's going to be daily goals. And you're going to use that so that you can go keep track of where you are and where you're trying to get. And as you finish the first month, then the second month, they become daily goals. And then you can adjust them by how you work the first month. It's not always a straight path to get to where you're going. You might have to go around some things, but there's nothing that's going to stop you because you have a reason to get this done. Number 3, you want to use a systemized formula. SMART goal setting is about using a formula that, when completed successfully, will get you from point A to point B efficiently. So the goal is to get there as best way you can with the least amount of stress and the most amount of success. Number 4, you need to have a set an end date. Open-ended goals are dangerous for a number of reasons. One of which is that there is no urgency or time pressure to encourage progress. So if you don't have a reason to get it done, if your goal is to make an extra $100,000 in 5 years, but you don't say that, you say, I'm going to make $100,000 more than I am now. Well, it could be 10 years from now, 20 years from now. You got to have some type of urgency, some reason for you to work towards it, something to get your mind thinking. We're going to get into some details with that here as we go into the next slide. All right, so now we're going to break SMART down. The S stands for specific. You want to answer the 6 questions. Who, what, when, where, which, and why. Who? Who's involved? Is it just you? Is your wife going to help you? Do you have an assistant? Do you have other people involved that are going to help you? Who do you need? What's going to help you make this goal happen? What? What do you want to accomplish? Do you want to grow in residential work? Do you want to grow in commercial work? Do you want to double your business? What is it that you want to have done? And you need to be specific. You can't just say, I want to grow my business. You can say, I want to grow my business 20%. You can say, I want to make an additional $20,000 each month. You know, something like that. Be specific. Where you want to identify your location. You know, in our company, you know, we chose 2 counties because we're small. We wanted to do Howard County and Anne Arundel County. We don't have time to drive the whole state of Maryland. So we picked which areas we wanted to work in, what key areas you want to. You know, if you're going to grow, then maybe you need to decide where you want to get a building. If you're going to move out of your house and actually get a building for an office, where you want that office located. Those are other things you need as locations you want to think about. When? You need to establish a time frame. Again, you want to start like 5 years out. Develop that perfect picture of what life would be like 5 years out. If you could have it any way you want it. And write it all down. Get some feeling for it. Get some emotion. You want to identify requirements and constraints. For me to have my office there, what's it going to require me to do? For me to be able to hire 2 more people, what do I have to do? What's going to stop me from being able to reach this goal? Do I need to rework it? Things like that. Why? This is probably one of the most important parts of this, is you need to be able to list specific reasons, a purpose, or the benefits of accomplishing this goal. Because that's what's going to keep you motivated. That's what's going to keep you excited. That's what's going to get you involved, is the why. Because without a good, significant why, you're going to back away. You're going to walk away. At some point, things will get tough. Next is M, and M stands for measurable. So how much? How much do you want to grow? How much do you want to make? How much weight do you want to lose? How much of whatever you're trying to do? How many? How many people is it going to take? How much time is it going to take? You need all these things in place. How will I know when you've accomplished it? This is one of the big things, you know. What's going to be when tell you you've accomplished your goal? You know, if you're trying to make an additional $10,000, it'll be easy. You know, when you make $10,001, you've accomplished that goal. Now, next thing is how you're going to reward yourself when you accomplish the goal. It doesn't have to be big. It can be small things. Okay? It can be going to dinner with your wife to a nice restaurant. It can be going to a movie. It can be treating yourself to go out bowling. It can be treating yourself to go fishing. Something. Some way of rewarding yourself. You know, for your smaller accomplishments, smaller rewards. Your bigger accomplishments, you know, if you meet your monthly goals, then you get a bigger reward for it. And that's what you want to think about, you know, because that's what keeps us going. You know, people, you know, all people are either pain or pleasure oriented. So you either get motivated because you hurt so bad you just can't take being here anymore, or you get motivated because you want something and you're going to get it. You know, you just can't wait. You know, if you like steak, maybe it's going to Ruth Chris's Steakhouse. You know, if we can make that level, that extra $10,000 this month, me and my wife are going to Ruth Chris's to have a wonderful steak. Or we're just going to a movie. Or we're going to a bed and breakfast. Any of those things can work. But you need to make it something that's valuable to you. Something that inspires you to keep moving. Because that's what's going to keep things going on. So next, A stands for attainable or action. Choose a verb. Increase, improve, deliver, grow. Okay, I'm going to grow this much. I'm going to deliver this many more products. If you're selling some products, I'm going to improve in my business management skills, my speaking skills. I'm going to increase the number of jobs I do a day. Okay? Define the object. What is the desired outcome? What's the end look? Is the end look for you to get off your truck and become a business manager all the time? What is it you're trying to accomplish? That's what you need to go. At the end, what does that picture look like for being perfect? What do you wish to improve? Again, do you wish to improve your business management skills? Wish to improve your speaking skills? Ooh, might need to work on that. Do you want to improve your technical skills? What part of the job or business are you trying to build? Identify how much. When you target a goal, be sure to highlight the meaning of success. So again, if you're trying to get off the truck, I want to hire 2 people, have 2 trucks on the road full time. I'll have a spare truck that I'll use for emergency purchases. And success will be me being off the truck most of the time, going out doing sales and marketing, and other people doing the jobs. That's just an example. Identify by when. Provide a time frame for completion of your goal. Okay? That's not going to happen overnight if you're a one-truck person, one-person company. I need to make this much more money so I can get 1 truck and 1 more person. So now we'll have 2 trucks and a person. Now I can increase that, get a little more. Then I can get the 3rd truck and have 2 people, 1 on each truck. And at that point, I can start working off the trucks and be going out and doing some other things. Then you get the 3rd truck, so that you got 2 new ones out there. And for me, I keep the old one for myself, and I use that as a spare truck, keeping the newer trucks out with the guys that are out most of the time. Next comes for realistic or relevant. A relevant goal can answer yes to these questions. Is this the right time to try and reach that? Does this seem worthwhile? If I'm going to put in this work, is it going to be worthwhile? Am I going to get enough out of this that it's worthwhile me trying to do? Does this match our other efforts or needs? Am I going to be able to get this, so that I can spend more time with my family? Or is it okay with the amount of time I'm already spending with my family, so there's not really a need to do it? So think about these things as you go through. Or am I the right person to spearhead this effort? Well, if it's your company, you're the right person. If it's your life, you're the right person. Now, some things you may not be capable of doing. Some of the things, I'm not very good with numbers. I know how to make money in, but I don't pay bills very well. So my wife takes care of all the bill paying. I worry about getting the money in, but she takes care of the money going out. And for us, that works really well. For some people, but again, that's my strength and my weaknesses. My strength is I can go out and get work. I can go out and promote myself. I can go out and promote carpet cleaning. I can find jobs and get the work done. My weakness is sitting down in front of a computer and paying bills. I'd much rather see money come in than money go out. So you need to think about that as you go through. You want to build on your strengths and let other people that have different strengths come in and use theirs. I'm a great idea guy, so I'd come up with a lot of ideas for marketing and stuff. But my son knows how to make it all look pretty and come up with postcards and letters and things like that. I might come up with the basic information, but he knows how to put in pictures and add words to make it come out better. Okay, so together we make a great team. Separately, neither one of us can succeed because I can't make it look pretty, as you can see from some of these videos, and he doesn't come up with all the ideas. So it's about working together on building each other up. The last part of this is T for time, or time bound. So you must have starting point and ending point, fixed durations. No planning is tantamount to planning to fail. Goals without deadlines are just dreams. Okay? If you don't, and that's another, you got to write it down. You have to write all this stuff down so you can break down into pieces for you. Okay? So you've got to go ahead and break it down into separate parts. You need to have a starting time, an ending time, to know when you reached your goals, when you made them. That way, you know when to reward yourself. You know if you need to fine tune it. If you're not getting things done, well, what can I do to change this so I can reach this goal? But if you don't have a time frame, You can't have set things done. Like we already shared before, if your goal is just to make $100,000 this year and you haven't made anything in the first 6 months, now you got 6 months to do $100,000. And that can be overwhelming. It can help break you down and not make you not want to get things going. So you've got to think about those things to help break it all down. And hopefully, in the next part, we'll give you some tips to help bring all this together for you. So, here's some mistakes in not meeting your goals and not setting goals. Number one, you don't set a goal at all. You can't hit it if you don't know where it is. The goals are too big. It's just that you just don't see it being possible. You have too many goals. It's hard to bounce all over the place. You need to focus them in. Your goals aren't written down. Again, if you don't write them down, it just doesn't make them real. They're just dreams. You got to write them down. You got to be specific, and you got to make it yours. And that comes to the last one. Goals are not specific. Again, we shared that a couple times. You can't just say, I'm going to make more money. I'm going to grow my business. I'm going to do better this year. Because that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't have the meaning to it. It doesn't have the emotion behind it. Again, you need the emotion to get the motion going. So take your time, write them down, and after this next section coming up, we're going to give you some tips. So the next 4 slides are going through the goal. So you can, draw this up, try and make your own sheets. You can email me at randy@wwcir.com, and I can send you some. And you can go ahead and pull them out. This is going to be the whole program and how you set them up, write them out, document things for yourself so that you can know that you're moving forward. This is a very simple one. Gave you the number one goal. Want to be seen as a business savvy project manager who's capable of guiding front end of critical projects. How are you going to measure it? Having my boss see me as able to speak for him in my business requirements, meeting as part of each project. Date, when do you intend to have this accomplished? By October 2006. What, if anything, seems impossible about this? I have trouble speaking up strongly when contentious trade-offs are being discussed. I don't know how to learn the business well enough to feel comfortable making a big judgment call. What outcome would exceed your expectations and surprise and delight you? Giving a large release to manage next year. So this is how a guy's going to go ahead and become a better manager and develop it out. And then the next slide is going to go step by step. This is just continuing with some more steps. This just gives you an idea of how you need to develop it. And if you can do that, then you'll have an idea what to do. Then you'll be able to present this to me or to somebody else to help hold you accountable. Because it's easy to see. You've got the status right over there. You have a copy. Your coach has a copy. Who's doing what? Where you at? Did you get this done? This was the date. What happened? Or great. It worked out great. Everything's moving forward. So let's get to work on your next step. You exceeded it. You got it done way ahead of time. Man, that is great. You're ahead of schedule. That's awesome. Those are the things you kind of work for and work together as. So, again, if you want, hit me up, randy@wwcir.com. Give me a call, 443-277-1874, and let's get this thing going to make 2015 the most phenomenal year ever. All right, so hopefully you've been writing some things down. But here's some more tips. A lot of questions have been asked before when I taught this, and here's some things that we've come up with. It's not the goals that people fail at. It's the daily action steps that appear so insignificant, each day that they are dismissed and replaced by unproductive activities because we have not established the significance of those little daily action steps that must be performed every day without fail. Here are some of the tips on goal setting. Establish goals based on what you would picture a new perfect world to look like for you and those that really matter in your life. What would this world look like, act like, feel like? Completely remove yourself from your current reality and allow yourself to go into this world of no boundaries, no limitations, based on your perception of how being are or must be currently. Write this down. Be detailed in your description. Now write specific goals you would need to achieve to make this new world a reality. Now write down next to each of these goals specifically what these goals accomplishes in your new world. Make sure this is associated with not just the monetary portion of what it accomplishes. It must be tied to your emotional side, how this makes your new world look, act, and feel. Now rank these goals using this exercise. Ask yourself, of these goals, if I could only choose one and could never achieve any of the others, which one goal would I pick? The answer to this question is your number one goal. Then ask yourself, of the remaining goals, if there was only one goal I could do without doing the others, as long as I accomplished the rest, which goal would that be? This would give you your next goal, and you work that all the way down till you get all the way down ranking your goals. Now take each goal and establish daily action steps that would move you towards that goal. If an action step applies to more than one goal, write it down for every goal as it applies. After you have compiled your list, start with the action steps in your number one goal and count how many times each of the action steps appears in this goal. The action step in your number one goal that appears the most often throughout all of your goals is your number one action step. Rank the rest of the action steps accordingly. Now on a calendar, map out the action steps you will commit to taking every day without fail. Start with your top action steps and work your way down. You may not be able to include all of your action steps every day, or even be able to take on some of them at all for a month or two. That's okay. You have written them down in your plan. Once you have your calendar mapped out, take an index card or similar and write down each action step you have committed to during the next month. And write down on each card the new world this action step is going to accomplish for you. Now your action step is tied to something that really matters in your life. Done correctly, you have tied this action step to not just a monetary goal, but an emotional goal with the people that really matter in your life. Each day, the cards with your list you have committed to on your calendar map. As you go throughout the day, remind yourself that you have promised yourself to accomplish each day and remind yourself why. By writing down the impact this tiny little action step has in your new world, you have established incredible value in this step. Done correctly, each step should easily move more value in your mind than all the other unproductive activities you have fallen victim to in the past. So each time throughout the day that you must decide what to do with your time, look at your cards. Remind yourself why these action steps have more value than anything else that might tear you away. Here's another tip to help you on your voyage into your new world. I call it the circle of sanity. You must create a place in which you stay focused on creating change via these action steps. If you have been truly honest with yourself in creating a new world with your initial goal-setting session, your currently reality will quickly set in on you. This will create a massive amount of discomfort. This can come at such a level that your mind will try to save you. Your mind wants to help you by trying to convince you that your current reality isn't so bad, that those goals aren't worth the disruption in your life that they're going to bring. To escape from these temptations of your mind, you must stay committed to your daily action steps. Remind yourself that these, what appear to be insignificant action steps, actually will bring to reality for you in your new world. Finally, use the circle of sanity to allow your current reality to exist as you move towards your new world. This is a critical component of a successful goal setting strategy. Too many people create goals only to be beaten down by their current reality that they live in. This discomfort that is created by the new goal versus all the chaos in their life generally wears them down to the point that they completely give up or back their goals down to reduce or eliminate the discomfort. To achieve your true potential, you must grow into it, not back your goals down. This is why I believe a successful goal setting strategy must allow for your current reality to exist. This is where the circle of sanity comes in. Inside your circle of sanity, you have your daily action steps and the new world they will cause in your life. You keep your mind inside this circle because your current reality hasn't become your new world yet. It will have things happening that will normally wear a person down because they are so different than the new world they are moving towards. You must allow this world to exist. You must look to your circle of sanity that has your goals, your action steps, what these results will cause in your life, and your map of how you will get there. This creates an understanding in your mind that says, I will see all these things happening around me that completely conflict with my goals. I don't allow them to wear me down because I know they aren't who I am. They are simply a product of bad habits that I used to perform each day. Now that these action steps inside my circle of sanity represent my new world, and I'm willing to commit to these steps every day without fail, what will happen over time as you accomplish these goals and add more action steps inside your circle of sanity is your current reality begins to diminish. Your circle of sanity grows stronger and starts becoming your new current reality. The discomfort gets smaller and smaller, and all those action steps that you used to have to focus on so hard each day and every day have become normal daily habits that you can't even imagine not doing now as they support your new world. Now your mind becomes your greatest ally because as things happen in your life that disrupt your new world, your mind forces you to correct yourself because now that you are the same discomfort that was holding you back now forces you to stay operating at your true potential. You see, your mind doesn't care how successful you are. Your mind just wants your behaviors to match your current reality. All right, so here we are wrapping this up. Here's my contact information. Randy Pierce, 8734 County Route 70, Avoca, New York, 14809. Feel free, drop me a line. Let me know what you think. Hopefully you've picked up my book, Clean It, already. Call me, 443-277-1874. Text me. Text me with questions. Text me with answers. Whatever you'd like. I'm here to help you. My email is randy@wwcir.com. Shoot me a line. Let's connect. Let's work together. Let's build your business to a level that you never dreamed possible.